Right, hello there again, ladies and gentlemen, social media and music world. Right, it is officially 9:38 on Friday the 24th of April, and I've listened to the new Foo Fighters LP again, all the way through twice now. And the second time now, it's making a hell of a lot more sense because I've concentrated more and read the lyrics or listened to the song and read the lyrics. This is the LP in question and your favourite toy, which came out today, 24th of April 2026. And at the moment, I just thought I would hurry up and make this video again. A second one, just so that I don't forget what I'm going to say or how I'm going to word it, because I've got all the information. But just before I properly start and say what I'm going to say, uh, a, a man, Caveman, number 9 on side B, the second last song on side B, makes a hell of a lot more sense now because I've read it, and the second time around was a hell of a lot better. But I just need to tell you this bit, so it's nothing to do with me, obviously, but it's just the fact that I just have to say that before I say it because it's in the lyrics and it's Dave Grohl's fault. But anyway, it goes, and I quote, so the fourth song on side B, which is overall the second last song on the whole album, and it says, and I quote, Peg mask, your favourite disguise. It doesn't matter that people can't see your eyes. Too late, the damage is done. Mum's little helper making love to a gun. Aye, I just thought that was weird, strange, got so many connotations and innuendos and double entendres about what it could mean. But A Man Caveman, aye, has lots of double entendres all the way through the song, but it makes a hell of a lot more sense when you properly listen to it more than once, because the chorus goes, we go down to zero and back again, down to zero, amen, caveman, down to zero, now and then, down to zero, amen, caveman. But the second time was so much better because I properly, properly listened and then was looking at the words while we was singing it so I could understand it more. And then Split Shin is a really good song. Unconditional, a really good song. Unconditional again made me go like, oh, and then like, I know I'm repeating myself, basically, and in Evanescence, again, about what I said earlier, but If You Only Know or Knew is a very good song. But, again, right, uh, so, uh, caught in an echo, all of people window, that makes a hell of a lot more sense now that I've heard it again more than once. I window, your favourite toy, if you only knew, split shine, unconditional, child actor, a man caveman and asking for a friend. Aye, 10 songs, but it only takes probably about between, I would say, 25 and 35 minutes to listen to all the way through from start to finish. But anyway, as I was just about to say there, that Child Actor is still a weird song, but it made a hell of a lot more sense the second time now, because I think, in my opinion, Child Actor, I think is like a I know it doesn't really get far too deep into what the lyrics actually mean because they're gobbledygook half the time. But anyway, the second time around, I really think it's about the like strains like being in the limelight because if you just hear this bit right, uh, Right, I'll just say for instance, I was a child actor, a name on a board, something myself as I use someone else's words. It's true enough, it's ever true enough, understanding who I am when the camera no, when the credits roll. So basically, and in Evanescence, what I think he's trying to say is that, like, maybe it's about a friend that's an actor, or I think it's a metaphor for anyone that is in the spotlight of any kind, which it's just about. Because I was a child actor, a face on the wall, holding my breath as I wait for the curtain to fall. Was it good enough? Was it ever good enough? Anything to be. No, anything to be the person that you want. I was a child actor, born to applause. Right, so it is quite deep if you really think about it and read the lyrics, but it probably doesn't mean what you think it means. Because every time someone ever said to him, "Oh, I like this bit of your lyrics," he says, "Oh, I'm afraid to say it doesn't really mean anything," or "It doesn't mean what you think it means." Like learn to fly isn't a metaphor for anything. It's just that he wanted to be a pilot. It's no anything other than that. But someone did think that. But anyhow, as I was saying as well, your favourite toy, I'm starting to like it a lot more because it's got different like tempos, and I like how it like slows down and then goes faster. But Caught in the Echo, though, that is just a phenomenal song to start the album with, and Bitsy, how it goes high and low and stuff like that. Asking for a Friend, though, is always the best song, as I said in two previous videos, but I like how towards the end it gets faster and faster, and it's a crescendo at the end. Yeah, that's the best thing about it. Aye, but it's just see, Window is still a really, really, really weird song because I'll just say this bit. Aye, when I saw your face there in the window, you were a window cleaner letting in the sun. Pleased to finally meet you. Swerving or swearing from the swinging from the ceiling, watching what watch you hang around until someone lets you down. It's a really weird song. I thought at first though, because Kurt Cobain used to be a cleaner, with a mop and bucket in a big. I think it was a school or something. That's why there's a person cleaning in the Smells Like Teen Spirits music video. I thought it was maybe about that. You were a window cleaner letting in the sun. It's so far the weirdest song by a country mile, apart from Child Actor, but I really do like that one now. And Amen Caveman, but I can't believe how much more I like that the second time around. I honestly thought when I first heard the whole album all the way through the very first time, I would not like Amen Caveman. I mean, even though I've only heard it twice, it's not my least favourite Foo Fighters song, because my least favourite Foo Fighters song ever is Concrete and Gold on the Concrete and Gold LP, the very last song on side 2. But it is a very, 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 very slightly weird and slightly unusual album, but in its entirety it's very good. Aye, I like how song. Aye, I'll have to do a second one now for TikTok. But anyway, a second video for TikTok that is. Right, anyway, so, because I want to go more properly deep into this LP. Right, so, Split Shine is probably a unsung, like, oh God, unsung, maybe special one that you didn't expect would be good, I suppose. Aye, and then all, no, of all people, it's just really, really good. It's a very, very, very short song, but it's so good. And then there is bits in the songs where I think, how have they got that sound out of the drums? It's weird, but like each person went in separately and done their bits of the album, like the drums, singing, guitar, and bass, keyboard, and piano. But in two of the songs, I thought to myself, how the hell did they like do that drum bit? There's one that doesn't sound like it's just hitting the normal bit of the drum that we're all used to, and like a normal everyday, like a normal everyday easy simple rock song. It's not like that. Aye, like I reckon that the new drummer, aye, that was in Nine Inch Nails, is maybe one day just accidentally done that and Dave Grohl's liked it or something. But it's weird. There is, I think it's in the song called either Split Shine, Unconditional, or maybe Child Actor or Amen Caveman. But anyway, as I was saying, there is a few times when you really listen to it and you think the way that the bass and the drums are being played is phenomenal. I can really see this growing on me, and just getting better and better with every listen, definitely. But I just cannot believe the very first time I heard it asking for a friend the way I liked it. But sometimes, now and again, in some of these lyrics, like when you really look hard enough, like there's, for instance, right where my finger is, I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Wait there, aye. Where was it again? Aye, like there or something. Aye, there where my finger is, you just can't really make it that word. I was got to just eventually put this sheet down and look up the lyrics online, because it would be a lot more clearer. For instance, as well, there, right, but it doesn't really bother me too much where my finger is. You can't see what that word means, but you know it's either you, aye, use, aye, it is, but it's just weird. But and then as I said probably in a previous video, that's still very, very strange. You know, I really wish I knew what all that meant. But maybe when I listen to it another 5 more times, I will do a third and final last review about it and tell you what I really think after listening to it a lot more than I already have. But I'm still not convinced about the artwork. Definitely not. Because in this day and age we are, well, no specifically this day and age, but in times gone by when like you've got to engage people with like what something looks like compared to what they could have made it look like. It's no that good. But anyhow, as I said in the previous 2 videos, it's about the music. I didn't care, even if that was just pure black and it only said Foo Fighters on it, I still wouldn't care, because at the end of the day I bought I got the album for the music, not for the artwork. Because if I wanted artwork, I would just buy a picture. Anyway, it's still like at least it gives you something to look at while you're studying the songs. But I've heard it twice all the way through so far. Aye, twice all the way through so far without skipping a song or stopping. Aye, and it's great. Already, even though there's like for instance on Concrete and Gold, there's like 3 songs on it that are better than this whole entire album, but this whole entire album combined is slightly better than Concrete and Gold. They just experimented a little bit too much on that album, and it's the furthest away from what the Foo Fighters sound like, so that's why Concrete and Gold will always be my least favourite, even though there is like 3 or 4 bangers on that album. But I can definitely feel that will be a future classic. Because on the Graham Norton show, he said these songs sound like they're meant to be played live. And then he also went on to say that the Foo Fighters could tour for the rest of their life now on the back catalogue of songs that they've already got. But Dave Grohl says every so often you just know when it feels right to go and make a new album. I didn't understand sometimes though when Inner Sleeve has got colour in it. Really didn't understand that, because how are you meant to actually look at it without breaking all that? It's quite silly that, but anyway, doesn't matter. It gives you something to look at when you're listening to it. But I've properly like listened to it, and I mean properly with headphones on, with no background distractions, so that I can try and understand it. Anyway, but so far so good. I've heard some of the songs live as well though on YouTube. Like for instance, I've heard. I think maybe Caught in an Echo, but I can't remember. I've definitely heard of all people, Your Favourite Toy, because I heard that on the Graham Norton show. Might have heard If You Only Knew, I think, and I've heard Asking for a Friend twice. So I've heard that live twice on YouTube, and I've heard it twice on the album, so that's 4, and then I've probably heard it about 3 times just on a normal like YouTube video with lyrics. But definitely it's a little tiny bit more surprising than I thought it would be because of the sound. And 2 songs though, the bass sounds absolutely incredible. And then in two songs as well, I think it's the exact same song where the bass sounds good. So does the drums. But I think just to take it over the edge and make that a much better album than it already is if they recorded it the exact same way that they recorded Wasting Lights in 2011. If they did that like completely like they did Wasting Lights. Like made it sound the livest album without actually being properly live with tape. But the way that Dave Grohl's voice is recorded on that album just sounds like he's came to a crossroads in his life where they think, what have we got to do after 30 years, and they're experimenting. Because I even think that he's got to a point where he knew exactly how it wanted to sound, and then when he done it all and gave the producer and the mixer and all the team behind it all the rough mix of what it's got to sound like, and then what the album actually sounds like listening to it now is more of their influence on it, and the keyboardist and keyboard slash piano person, which is, oh god, where is that? Wait there, it's on one of the bits. Right. It's on here somewhere. This is it. Aye. So, produced by Foo Fighters and Oliver Roman, engineered by Oliver Roman, mixed by Mark Stent. Stent, and then all that caper. But Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl, guitars and vocal, Pat Smear guitar, original guitarist, Chris Shiflett lead guitar, the second lead guitarist, first ever music video he was on was Breakout, and Nate Mendel bass and sometimes backing vocals, especially nowadays. Romy Jaffe piano and keyboard, but he came along in 2005 or 6 when they done the acoustic shows. So he's had the most influence in the last 2 albums. And then Ilan Rubin, drummer, only 37-year-old, the youngest ever inductee into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame because of Nine Inch Nails. And he is absolutely incredibly phenomenal. Aye, but wonder if. Aye, nah, I was going to say, I wonder if because he's 37 and Dave Grohl's nearly 60, wonder if Dave Grohl's old enough to be his father. But anyway, aye, but anyway, aye, so Chris Shiflett and Nate Mendel on bass ever since Taylor Hawkins died, R.I.P. They sing a little tiny bit more in the choruses just to give it oomph, because that's what Taylor Hawkins used to do. Don't know if I'm starting to get a rash right there. I've noticed it in the mirror and I try and rub it away, but I can't. But if you do it might get worse. Right, anyway, so as I was saying, I'll have to see who the producer is. I thought they were using the same one they've used for the last 3 times that done the Adele albums. Anyway, but it's so good that Pat Smear came back into the band in 2005-6 when they done the acoustic shows. I didn't think he was a proper full member again until featured on an album and then became a full-time member again. And the same way Romy Jaffe, Rami and then Jaffee. Aye, he didn't become a full entire member until he was featured on his first album. Aye, he was just a touring musician to play the piano and keyboard, or as I call it, piano. Aye, so piano. But he has been a very good introduction, because every so often he does a solo, aye, and it ties into what the guitar sounds like. If a rock band has a pianist or a keyboardist or both that they play, they try and make the piano or the keyboard sound exactly like the the electric guitar, so it blends in well. And then now and again you can hear a wee bit of like a sort of influence of the piano and keyboardist. But definitely in the last 2 albums you definitely, in fact no, the last 3 albums you can. Concrete and Gold, Sonic Highways, and oh, that. No, in fact, the last 4, it's, But Here We Are, Concrete and Gold, Your Favourite Toy, Concrete and Gold, Sonic Highways, Your Favourite Toy, and what other one? I've got another one somewhere. Right, I really want to know this before I finish this video. Right, so every single album, or ever since he came into the band, that Romy Jaffe, keyboard and piano player. Aye, if you know, you know. But anyway, on Medicine at Midnight, aye, that shows him off in a good light, and that's. But every album that he's featured on, every so often, each album, the one after, they've had a tiny little bit more influence to give them a bit more a different sound. But definitely though, ever since the first album that Robbie Jaffe is featured on. Oh, what was I going to say there? Everyone that he's featured on, aye, is completely different from the ones that he wasn't on. Aye, that's what I was I got to say. It wasn't probably that, but I'll go with that. Aye, but it is very good though. God, 26 minutes I've been talking for now. But I really want to make it a proper in-depth one. And then later on I'll do one for TikTok, because you can only do 15 minutes, 3 minutes and 10. Aye, so annoying that. But no, that's what makes TikTok unique, because it's a shorter format. Anyway, right, so aye, I've been talking far too much the day on all these videos. Aye. But anyway, right, so maybe one more after I've listened to it 5 more times. And then I'll tell you if there's anything else different. Or I'll look it up online and then tell you what other people have been saying and what like the Wikipedia says about it, and I'll tell you maybe in-depth bits about what the background of the album was supposed to sound like, what the charting positions were and stuff like that, to round it off with a third video. But that'll be in a long time. Aye. When I've definitely listened to it 5 more times, then I'll get other opinions and put my opinions beside it. So, bye.